Wake up, get cake, I work no breaks. I click, slide. I just got me a check, I've been shopping all day. I just made me a hit, I've been popping all day. If I don't got that shit, okay, walk in the place. Okay, hop in the whip and I'm shining like dang. And I ride this shit up and I feel like I'm bang. Shit out of that feel. And I'm keeping my shit. Luke K, 20 my wrist. Okay, part of my beat. Okay, what's my fit? Oh yeah, I'm a nice stitch. Yeah. Diamonds ain't hit. Yeah. We gon' blitz. Yeah. Never the mix. Yeah. Tryna get rich, bitch. Yeah. Hell is you doing? The hell is you doing? I pull up, we go to the moon. I pull up, don't come to the A. I don't wanna text you, want to your face. Let's have a good day. You know I got pain. Bitch, I been go crazy. I said in this shape. It's for what they think. Big killing the game. I don't need no fame. Whoa.
Oof. It's 11:30. Don't I have work? Well, today is a Saturday, my guy. I don't got work tomorrow morning. You know? Lakers down bad. Yeah. I saw. It's all right. Who is in the finals? Is it Heat? Heat and Nuggets? NBA Finals. I like watch here and there. Nuggets on brink of NBA Finals with 119-108 win over Lakers. Yeah, okay. So it's not there yet, but Lakers just took an L. So, yeah, it's looking like Heat and Nuggets. It's gonna be crazy because I live in Miami right now, so you know people going go crazy for the Heat. But anyway, let's see. I got a few videos to react to, and then we got topics. Okay, firstly, so Fago's manager, which I don't even, it might not even be true, but we know that he's affiliated, so I don't know why he would be mad about this. But he was speaking on like this new trend of rappers that we talk about all the time, where like rappers, new upcoming rappers are trying to be all mysterious and everything, but they're just not to that size yet. And so like it almost doesn't work. Not everybody can be Cardi, not everybody can be Uzi, even though Uzi doesn't even try to be mysterious like that. I feel like he's out in the public all the time, but that we've also noticed that is a detriment, as opposed to Cardi. Like every time he even like farts outside, people start sucking it in with a vacuum and selling it on the dark web. But Barry Hefner, who we know is affiliated with SoFago. So, okay, even if he's not his manager or whatever, he called me and was like super mad about some shit. Like, don't try and put me against my own artist or whatever. I'm like, bro, I honestly, I agree with you. So I don't know why you're mad. I don't play these internet games, bro. But anyway, he said, trends that started in music that I never understood. Keeping your following count low to look like you're cooler than everyone else. The posting nothing on my main page and having my fan pages post everything. The signing to majors but acting like you independent. Well, I feel like already this low-key kind of, it's like he might be getting mad that the people are associating with SoFago, but like that's why when you're a manager, you got to be careful with what you say, because like even when somebody tweets, even when I tweet, there's always like some context to it. And so it's the artist that he's working with or the artist that he's seeing online that is making him confused as to why these trends exist, right? And the person that's closest to him that is like that actually does the things that he says is SoFago. I'm not necessarily saying that he is talking about SoFago, but that you just got to assume that the fans are going to think that, right? The I don't promote my own music campaign, surprise album drops, the I refuse to do interviews, I don't write my lyrics, I just punch in, I hate lyrical rappers because y'all be trying too hard, first week album sales, pointless combos. Okay, completely agree with all that. Actually, I like talking about first week sales because it kind of gives us an indication as to who is up right now. But anyway, a fan says, this describes Fago. Then he says, describe every artist in today's music business, but young Fago be doing it too. Lol. Okay, so there we go. It's a good conversation piece. We all agree. Not everyone could be Cardi. especially Sofego. I'm the one that's drawing the association. I don't care, whatever, because that's why Yeet blew up and Sofego didn't, because Yeet took the trend of the new music that he dropped with all the TikTok and like that sound, the alien synths and whatever, dropped 3 albums on it. And he capitalized, and he ended up selling like 52 or 54K on his last album, and he blew up, and now he's a mainstream artist, essentially getting streams in the top 50 artists in the world. And Sofego was actually bigger than Yeet at one point, but just waited so long, and so he did all the things that Barry Hefner described, and it fucked him up. But as we've already talked about, this new Ye song was definitely a step in the right direction. So he's good for now, at least. I hope he continues to go along with that direction. Or maybe you fucked old Fago up to give him that pop star aesthetic, even though that's not him at all, or decided to postpone all his projects thinking it's going to create more hype, trying to ignore all the hate. And then he says, it's crazy, y'all really think someone is behind the doors controlling these artists. So it was, what he's basically confirming is that Sofego was the one who was delaying the project, probably trying to make it perfect, or actually he describes even more. Do y'all actually really be listening to how dumb that sounds? Trust me, I don't care what the internet says. My job is to manage a business to keep it profitable and progressing, so why would I do that? It's the internet and the pressure it puts on these artists. They try too hard to be perfect, trying to impress everyone, because all these motherfuckers do is talk shit, trolling instead of enjoy the music. We can watch the Nextel interview too. But it looks like Nextel did his job, you know? But I do feel like as management, you do have to point your artists in the right direction as to not do that shit, or be like you're not going to do well. But all of these characteristics he said do apply to Sofego, especially the signing to majors but acting like you independent. Well, actually, he was the one that said way back that Fago dropped with an independent distributor, and that's why Pink Hearts didn't sell too well, or it didn't get over 10K. But Sofego's up for sure. People do overhate him, definitely. Yeet manager got skilled. No, for sure. They definitely did it right. Although I heard Yeet is the mastermind behind all of the antics. And I think that's what Sofego is lacking, like direction as to, like, you had to put his pedal on the gas and capitalize on the hype he was getting, especially with the Travis Scott coastline. If he dropped 3 projects in 2021 after me, he would be probably up where Yeet is. That's not even a hot take, bro. It's just that he waited too long and lost his hype. Like, that's just a fact. I think even his fans would say that. Fago Ben said Cactus Jack had nothing to do with it. Yeah, no, I agree. It did not have to do with Cactus Jack. Like, we were all speculating that maybe because of the whole Astrofest tragedy situation, that maybe he was delaying it so they could get the Travis Scott feature. But they could be playing it like almost Opium. Where I've heard is that Sofego's kind of like, he is Cactus Jack, but he isn't really, like, he has his own operation. He has his own team. It's not like they're all chilling every single day. Although I feel like that would benefit him, because other labels such as Opium, like, Ken and Lone are like this. They're always together, the Opium twins. They're playing snippets in the cars together. Like, it just boosts both of their audiences, because they're both, if you're not even a fan of Ken or Destroy Lonely, like, separately, you're just a fan of one, like, you're gonna still watch the other, and it's gonna build hype for the other, and you see their name. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's very synergistic. But Sofego's kind of on his own, so I feel like if he chilled with Don Toliver or Travis Scott, I don't know how they are, but Travis Scott's so big, that would just be so easy to gain clout. But I also feel like Travis Scott's so big that it might be hard to chill with him, because he probably got a mansion in the hills that he just chills at and goes and does parties and does hella blow and fucks Kylie Jenner's buns. And it would just be hard to chill with that every single day. I'm sure he's, I don't know, like, they put handcuffs on his Utopia suitcase where his music was. So I can't imagine. Yeah, Travis too busy, probably. He's busy watching his kids. I don't even know about that. I bet you Kylie don't even watch her kids. She probably, like, puts them to sleep and shit, but they got nannies. I feel like when you're that rich, you don't even have to do that. All the other Cactus Jack artists under Atlantic, Fago isn't, yeah. But see, that's the thing. He did the independent route. So that's he has his own team and they're making their own independent decisions. But I believe from the talks that I've had with people that the next project or the next album, maybe not the EP or a mixtape, whatever he's about to drop, is going to be a major distributor. So it's actually going to do some numbers, I would hope. But again, he's going in the right direction. But Travis probably, Travis probably the studio or just living the lifestyle. I feel like as a rapper, your life isn't really necessarily meetings, but you're off doing like bullshit all day to gain inspiration. Like you go to the studio, you jump in the pool. Like I always, not that I dream about, because I'm obviously not a rapper, but it would be cool to be a rapper because even if you're not working, you're technically working because you're just trying to have a rapper lifestyle, which is at least portrayed as pretty fun, fucking bitches and like doing drugs and whatever, which can have its downfalls. Kids, don't do drugs. But that just gives you inspiration to talk about in your song. So that's like you can write off everything. Like the IRS comes, so you bought $7,000 in expenses at this brothel, and you're like, well, I had to do it because I had to talk about it in a song and not lie. You know? But yeah, in general, rappers, please stop being mysterious. Just drop the music, and then especially when you're growing. Like Travis Scott, you see, he has so much hype for Utopia, like it's 24 songs or whatever. And people are hyped about it after 6 years of waiting or 5 years since Astro World because he already made it. But I feel like before, when he was still growing, he was dropping a tape every single year, or that's how artists should be. Again, not everyone could be Cardi and just drop a mixtape in 2017, and then your next one, actually Dilate dropped 2018 or something. So it's not like he waited that long, but he got forced to drop it because they were gonna leak Dilate. Maybe I'll talk about that in a video. And then wait till 2020. Not everyone can do that. People are gonna roast Utopia when it drops. I feel like when you're just a big artist, for sure you're gonna get scrutiny, but I don't know. I feel like Utopia is gonna be a great album. I think Travis Scott's one of the greatest artists in the world. And not necessarily like, I'm not talking about individually by his vocals or whatever, his beat selection, just overall his branding is on point. Like I like this whole, it's gonna mesh well with the trend of AI, and like he's super futuristic, and that's what Utopia is about, like a perfect world. Like I just feel like he puts it all together super well, and that's actually a lost skill as being an artist nowadays. Like that's why, not that I get mad, but like I just don't care when NBA YoungBoy drops, because like it's just mixtape after mixtape. It's like there's no theme to it. I like to dive in. You're not gonna read just hella books like that. That's the reason that the cover of a book actually matters. It's to entice you and get you excited about like the whole imagery around it. There's too many books to not market it well. Same thing with NBA YoungBoy. There's so many albums that drop on a weekly basis that you need to figure out a way to differentiate yourself. Watch the Save the World tier list. I got you. He's just gonna say Jace is the best, I feel like. Save the World. Tier list. Bruh. Hold up. Let's see. Where's the tier list? Tier. Which one is it? Oh, right. Rap tier list.
His beat selection is good. His flow variety is crazy. He knows how to ride a beat and go hard even with the weirdest, most awkward flows. But I'm not gonna lie, he is an acquired taste. You do kind of have to let him grow on you a little bit. And he needs a more in-depth discography before we can really see his full potential. Right now, I'm gonna put him at B+. Isaiah's current music is kind of mid. In the beginning of his career though, his music was pretty flawless. He really had the melodic sound on lock and his production was otherworldly. Unfortunately, he didn't really give it his all because of mental health and stuff like that. And honestly, I feel like his time to shine is gone really. Other people are now the front runners of his sound. And it kind of just seems like music is not a priority to him. Overall, I'm gonna give him a B.
Yeah, I feel like Zaya TG has an acquired taste. There are some songs that I like, but a lot of the times it just feels very like drugged out to the point where I'm not on drugs most of the time, so it just sounds off beat. But I think that he does have songs that I like. Can he's gonna say is like it sounds the same every single song, like the same flow, just on different beats. But I don't necessarily think Can is really trying to make music as a full-time career. I think he's just building a brand, and that's why he did a distribution deal, and that's why he's starting the Double R thing and selling clothes and GTA server. Like, honestly, that's a good route in my opinion, because it's hard to be a top artist for 5+ years. We always say that. So this is just more of a long-term thing. You're building loyalty within your fan base aside from just music.
Can gets a lot of shit for making the same song over and over again, and I agree with that, but honestly, it's not really that bad of a thing. His current style is hard, and the fact he doesn't drop that often kind of keeps you from burning out on his music. Also, this is going to be a crazy hot take.
Fair.
But I truly feel like Can has the best new gen underground album of all time. His self-titled project literally has no misses. Back then, Can was probably like top 5 producers in the game. I'm gonna give Can a solid B. Honestly, I never really liked Summer's music like at all. Even with his best stuff, he's just really not my cup of tea. Overall, his discography is not bad. He has a lot of hits. I think Summers has the ability to make good music, but right now, he's more focused on the idea of hitting the charts rather than making actual quality music and focused.
Oh, I like that. That was a good point. I do think he gets too locked into the idea of getting #1 on Apple Music or whatever, instead of just like dropping and then satisfying his fans. And it's like, if you drop good music, the accolades are gonna come.
On his image, so I'm gonna give him a B-.
Jump at the window like Peter Pan, nigga, gon' make him believe. How did the car that we rapping and on that phone, nigga, just gotta sneeze.
Now, everyone has been telling me to listen to Glock 40 Spaz for like the past 3 months now. And after going through his music, I can honestly say
I like Glock 40 Spaz. I'm not gonna lie. I understand that he was beefing with Cardi and people want me to pick sides, but I don't give a fuck. If the music is good, I'm gonna listen.
He's not bad, but I don't really get the hype. His music, like his sound itself, is kind of average, but I feel like he gets a lot of attention just because he has an underground aesthetic to him. I see why kids like him.
I also feel like a lot of these rappers talk like they're, you know, they buy guns and then they start thinking they're all gangster, but like Glock is actually locked up for aggravated robbery, so you actually believe him when he says shit.
Because he's kind of putting a spin on the whole gang rap thing. And I'm not gonna lie, on some songs like Free Sumo.
Oh, and that's another thing. He like is a newer generation rapper, but he has the street spin, which is like refreshing, because there's that whole street side of rappers, of course, then there's a bunch of new rappers coming up, but like he's within this like internet space doing the street rap, so like it's a, I don't know, he's on this side doing something different, even though he's doing the same thing on the other side. You get what I'm saying? Like, the combo is nice.
He does go really hard, but overall, he's not really that different from anything else out there. And his beat selection is kind of generic, honestly. People just overhype it because he's just...
I like his beat selection. I feel like street rappers, that is their downfall. Like, it's just trash beats, like the same thing over and over. I think he picks great beats because it's like the futuristic style. but again, he's doing street rap over it.
Rapping
Kind
in
of
a
like
different
almost Homicide Gang in a way, but not as Cardi-esque.
way than most people. Overall, I'm gonna give him a C+.
I feel like Doo-Wop can't. Doesn't he start like an OnlyFans? Like he's just quitting rap to start sucking dick on camera.
Doo-Wop Kane is not good. I've said this before.
Yeah, man. I don't think Doo-Wop Kane's all too good. I understand his influence and whatever, like a lot of fans say, but there's a reason that he didn't pop off like the rest of the artists. It's just like super offbeat and like, I don't know, the melodies of the auto tune, like it's just not executed perfectly, so it just doesn't do as well, and the numbers back it up.
And every time I get comments like, but I've been listening to Doo-Wop since I was in middle school. Exactly. That nigga was hard when you were 12. His best music, like his highest quality music, is pretty average when compared to everyone else in the underground. People meat ride him so much because he's been doing it for a long time. But be honest, his music is pretty hard to listen to. Like it's pretty rough. So I'm gonna give him a D.
All that bro shit gotta stop.
He's gonna give Jason A, isn't he?
Jay somehow manages to drop like a new project every week, and they all sound good. I can't say
I feel like when Jace drops so often, it's good music. Like he is one of the more talented people, but again, it's like the NBA YoungBoy treatment where I cannot follow. I can't keep up. If he dropped less frequently and put themes behind his music and like built up a rollout, I would care more. But then it just ends up, since he drops so often, it kind of is the same song over and over, and like the same flows and the same like, you know?
heard a bad or terrible Jay song. It's only songs that I just didn't like. He's the most dedicated and locked in artist in the underground right now, and he has like a new hit every month. Honestly, if the whole snitching thing never happened, he probably would be way closer to going mainstream. His ability to make
I mean, he had that Lyrical Lemonade music video coming out, and the Offset, I think, and G Herbo. It might not be Offset, but it had the G Herbo remix of 556, but then that just never happened.
Melodic music and hard music and have both of them sound good is pretty rare. Like, you should see the shit I get in DMs. It's not good at all. Honestly, I think Jace is better than most of the underground, not because I'm like a #1 Jace meat writer or because I think he's like a prodigy or something. He literally just is more locked in than everyone else. Like, Ken literally just said on his story he forgot to make music for months. I'm gonna give Jace an A.
I would have given Destroy Lonely like a A before, but I feel like this last project was a little bit of a step back. I'll give it like an A- for Lone.
I don't think Lonely fans realize that Lonely is an acquired taste. So when a professional lone meat eater such as yourself hears a song and you go, oh my God, this is the best thing since the microwave, a normal functioning human being will listen to that song and, you know, it's gonna take time to grow on them. On top of that, Lone is very hit or miss. Sometimes he has the absolute best flows in the underground, the best beat selection, like he's literally out of this world. And sometimes he just sounds so ass and it's just so hard to get through a song. He's at his best when he's just flowing on the beat and makes it look easy. I'm gonna put him at C+. He needs to be more consistent with his quality, and he needs to learn how to actually make a good project instead of just relying on the opium aesthetic to carry him to success.
I feel like he's gonna shit on Ken Carson, bro. Cause I love Ken Carson, especially Project X, but I just haven't been feeling the latest snippets. Like, people just meat riding the shit out of that because it's opium, like the new low voice flow. But yo, I just don't know if that's the flow he should go with.
To be fair, Ken is evolving in terms of his beats and his flows. His music is still in that awkward puberty phase. Aside from his hits,
Yes, that's perfect. He's like trying to figure out the next sound because the old one kind of got dragged out because everybody started rapping on his type of beats. And so he's trying to figure out the next wave, but I just don't know if he's figured it out yet. go.
If his discography doesn't really go that hard. He doesn't flow as smoothly on a song as Lone does. So I'm gonna put him in C tier.
As I walk down that path for the
Oh, he loves Tana, right?
last niggas can compare lyrics share. Did my dirty ass niggas. I get caught, I get high. I'm a faded ass nigga.
He's not necessarily trying to come up with crazy new flows, but he's doing what he does best and he's getting better at it. His latest album was pretty good, and I don't think he's cool with the people he came up with anymore, but he's doing pretty good on his own right now. I'm gonna put him in A tier.
Woo, crazy. I actually do think he showed a lot of growth on his last project. I told y'all. I just feel like the melodic shit, I don't know. It doesn't hit for me, but he had a couple of songs on the new type of ambient 808 beats that were actually pretty good. I think one of them is on my playlist.
Shay is an actual prodigy, but I went on hiatus
Bro, what?
9 months ago, and I come back and Shay practically has the same amount of material. He's very talented, but hopefully Shay doesn't turn into an Isaiah TG or Frank Ocean situation where people literally have to beg him to make music. I'm gonna put him in B+.
Yeah, I feel like I don't really know too much about Shay Romani. I understand that he was popping like, I don't know, like 6 months ago, but I just haven't heard much from him. So I can't even, like, if you're not dropping music, it goes back to the Sofago thing. If you're not dropping music, it's hard to grow. You can't just post pictures on Instagram every 3 months and expect to get a bunch of followers and more people to listen to your past projects. When you're in the underground, you have to give the people content. That's the only way to grow. I actually like Dom Corleone a lot.
He has very good beat selection, but unlike his dad Lone, his flow is not that good. They're very boring copy and paste flows. It's like he records the verse and chooses the beats later. His style, his attitude, his aesthetic, all of that is cool, but his music has no substance. Listening to him is like being on an elevator. It's cool at first, but damn, can I please get off? I'm gonna put him in C-.
I could give him like a B-. I actually like Lil Shine. I don't necessarily listen to him all the time, but he's good.
Basically plug-in B Summers, but he doesn't make your ears bleed. Nothing really new, but he sounds pretty cool. I'm gonna put him in C-. Smoking Skull is hard for like the first 10 minutes.
Smoking Skull, yeah. That sound is just very aggressive and it's grungy, and I get that there's an audience for that. It's just not for me though.
I'm gonna put him in C-. Never really got the Lucky hype. I say this about a lot of people, but Lucky makes the same goddamn song.
See, I said the same thing when we listened to his project, like I want to say a year ago, and everybody was calling me racist. I was like, bro, what? Just because I said Lucky like makes a lot of the same song. It's very chill. It's almost like I related Destroy Lonely's project, his last one, If Looks Could Kill, to Lucky, because it's a very chill vibe. And if you're in that zone, it's great music, but I would just like a little bit more variety. But Lucky for sure is doing his thing.
Over and over again, and people just eat it up. Diehard Lucky fans think he's the best thing since sliced bread, and he's good, I'm not gonna lie. He lacks variety, but his wordplay is pretty cool, and he always rides the beat pretty well. I'm gonna put him in B tier.
I feel like Rich Amiri has some really good songs, but a lot of it is just like it's kind of the same.
I'm not really sure what the point of his music is. He's very boring to listen to. He's not an interesting guy. C-. Autumn is the definition of a B. Coach Ice was
That's all he had to say. Autumn is actually a really good artist. I feel like he doesn't get a lot of the hype because I feel like he's doing his own thing. And I feel like he's more talented than most of the artists because he can produce his own beats. And a lot of them can do that. but he actually knows what he's doing. He can is melodize a word. He can sing, carry a melody. He can also rap. I don't necessarily like his rapping all too much because it's just like the Kermit the Frog type style, but he can make good songs for sure. Like when he said that he's like the underground Drake, I feel like he does kind of have that vibe to him.
But he's pretty boring now. He's still trying to ride that anime rage wave. He's not bad, but I'm definitely not going to listen to him anytime soon. I'm going to put him in C tier.
Who did he say? Who was that? Oh my God, bitch, Amiri. Who was the last person he said? Autumn, Sharamani, Lucky. I guess that he was just talking about Autumn. Or no, he said Cochise. Cochise, I honestly feel like he's losing a lot of hype. And like the whole baby voice thing was cool for a while, especially when Cardi got off of it and moved on to a new sound. But it just got kind of boring. And so he's dropping a new project soon. We'll see how it is. I'm definitely going to be listening to it. But it kind of got old, you know? But he's definitely a certified hit maker. Like, he got a song in 2K. So we'll see. But I don't think he's good at making projects. I think he's good at making singles. But that's with, like, most of these artists, to be honest.
All right, come on.
So, yeah. I feel like this definitely would not be mine. I'd probably put Hard Rock as a B, just because he doesn't drop so much. So I feel like you can't justify, because he doesn't have that much music out. Although he does go hard and he has hella potential, so he could move up. I don't know. Can I would honestly put down as a C, because he doesn't even care about the music, and I knew that before he stopped making music for like 9 months. Summers, I'd probably put it a B. Lucky B. Shay Romani, don't really know much about him, so I'd have to put him at like a D. Doo-Wop there too. Cochise, yeah, I'd probably give a C, because his latest shit isn't all too good to me, but he has the like hits in the back catalog. I used to love Cochise. He used to be like one of my favorite artists. Dom Corleo, I'd probably put like a B minus. Ken, I'd probably put at a B plus. Smoking Skull, D. Rich Amiri, C. Glock 40 Spaz, I'd probably put it a B or B plus, man. Lil Shine, I like Lil Shine's music. I don't necessarily listen to it all the time, but I'd probably put him like a C plus or B minus. Let's see. Isaiah TG, I'd probably put like a C minus, because I don't know. It doesn't drop very often. I see all the wild Instagram stories he posts. He might even be like schizo or something. Tana, I'd probably put it a B minus, C plus. Jace, I'd probably put it as a B minus, because he's good, but like I just don't care because he drops so often. Lucky, probably put as a B or B plus. Autumn, B plus. Is there anybody else? I feel like he missed out. Actually, Yeet's not even in the underground anymore, so yeah, he can't put him there. I feel like Sofago's still underground, even though I know he signed to Travis Scott, but like he hasn't broke through yet. Oh, Lone I'd put as a B plus, because he still has something to prove. I don't put any of these people in A. I think it's still up for the grabs. I think Lone is at the top for sure, but he still has something to prove. He did the numbers. I can't deny that. 29K first week. So he's not even underground anymore, so he shouldn't even be on this list. But I think he has the next project. It needs to be like 18 songs. It needs to add a little bit more hype to it, like more energy songs. It can't just be all chill music. The branding was on point though for if Let's Kill, like the mask and the demon thing, whatever. It was a murderer. But he sold more than Glorilla. Yeah, I was thinking about that. Like, and she's not a TikTok rapper by any means. Like, she's just an industry rapper. But a lot of these artists who have big songs, like, it's almost a bad thing, because then you reach such heights and then you don't really have a fan base that's dedicated to you. They just move on to the next person who makes a hit song. So I feel like the best way to get a fan base is to not even get a hit until you already have a big catalog. She just kind of came out with a huge hit, and that was her first song. I don't even know. She might have music prior to that, but that's the first time I heard about her. Then again, I am not in that whatsoever. Anyway, let's talk about Kid Cudi. So he was essentially forced to remove a song or cancel a drop. That one snippet was absolute garbage. I'm not going to lie. And you know how garbage it is? They literally copyright struck, and I used his audio. I played it, or I like did the Twitter feature where you like click on the link and then you post it with your own thing. So they copyright struck it down. We had the whole little like chorus that we had to do. You press start and like, I will not use copyrighted material. But it was so bad that they're trying to swipe it off the web completely. And people were shitting on it. And so then he said, you guys are my fans. You're my family. I hear y'all. I'm pivoting. Different single June 2nd. So he literally got bullied out of dropping the song that he felt so strongly about to release. So he just can't catch a break. But now you know why Cardi wasn't getting him the feature, because come on, the music industry is so political in a way that like if he starts associating with Cardi that is, like he almost gets wrapped up in these sort of L's, and Cardi can't take no L's. I'm not saying that he can't, like it's not possible, but like he doesn't want to, so he's just not even gonna take that risk. So now we find out more information as to why, and he didn't necessarily know but that was going to happen. Like his song was going to get hated on so much that the single was going to get canceled for the album that Cardi was supposed to be on for Solo Dolo 4. But I feel like you could tell already because of the whole Kanye situation that everybody was hating on Kid Cudi. So just leave it alone. There was going to be no benefit in doing that outside of the feature check that he gets, maybe of like $150K or however much it would cost, or maybe like Kid Cudi wouldn't pay that because they're cool, and Kid Cudi was on a whole lot of red with Metamorphosis, so maybe it was going to be a feature swap. But just all these antics are too funny. I do think Kid Cudi is just washed, bro. I feel like everyone loved his music when we were all, or I was like 15, 13 maybe, first smoking weed, and like that's the type of music he was making. You would smoke weed and be like, oh my God, I'm so high. Kid Cudi is speaking to my soul because he's talking about depression, and I'm going through puberty, and I don't know what my place is in the world. But then it just gets kind of corny after a while. And I'm not saying that I'm not going to give his music a chance, but it's just, he's fruity, bro. He is fruity. I'm not even trying to hate, just. And to get bullied like this, it's crazy. I feel like you gotta stand on your foot. If you think a song is so good to be a single, I feel like this has happened with Trippie Redd too. Like I see in the Trippie sub that like they were talking about the last snippet he previewed. Like this is the worst snippet I've ever heard. I don't think the Trippie snippet is all too bad. It's just kind of mediocre. I feel like a lot of people that were big back in the day, there's going to be a big shift soon, because a lot of the artists that were big back in the day, they might still do numbers, but it's not as organic as it once was, and the music just isn't very good. So people are going to start falling off. We still got the GOATs though, like Drake, Travis Scott, Cardi's coming through, Uzi's coming through. Uzi kind of went through his whole ordeal with people saying that he fell off, so he's got something to prove as well. But I think Pink Tape will be good. Nobody cares about Kid Cudi though. I'm not gonna lie. We'll see how that album does. I feel like his last album, I don't know how much it sold. It probably did big numbers because he's got a lot of industry behind him, and he's got a good catalog from the old days. So that's what it's gonna be supported by. But I don't know. It did bad. I don't know if it did bad. I just don't know if people care as much. Please use Lil Uzi's pronouns. Suck my dick. I don't care about pronouns, bro. I hate when people start talking about that shit. Like, I'll respect you if you want to be a fucking giraffe, but you can't expect me to call you a whatever you want to be called. Especially because these people be changing their pronouns all the time. Like, what are you today? A fucking bear? A deer today? Nah. What are my pronouns? It's fuck you, bitch. Nah, I'm playing. And also, I think the they them thing is just a play on of Uzi's trying to say it's not that he's trans or anything, it's that he's an alien. This is all speculation that he's just not a human. So that's why he's a it or they them, you know? I don't think he cares. Otherwise, it could just be a marketing scheme as to like to reach a different audience, but he obviously in his music talks about fucking bitches, so he's straight, even though I know he has some feminine type, I don't know, like branding, I guess, because of it was actually his old look. Like he was wearing like somewhat feminine clothes, so it kind of makes sense, but the music was definitely heterosexual. He got multiple personalities. I think he just plays a lot of characters, like the whole Leslie Chow thing, and then he's got a lot of hairstyles. He's got a lot of different looks with the rock star stuff, and obviously the rock star stuff kind of plays into the Satanism and anti just establishment or anti everything. So like we're not gonna be conservative with our pronouns, but I think that his music, like he's definitely like a regular guy. Okay. That's why I always say with the Satanism stuff, the upside down crosses, that's not real, bro. It's just a character. They're not trying to control the world or whatever. They're just trying to get more eyeballs on them. Everything's a publicity stunt or statement. Satanism is just rage bait, literally. That's all it is. It's nothing crazy at all. Like it's anti. It's almost just to get people talking. It's like controversial because everybody's scared. Like this whole Lil Wop situation. Like what is dude doing? Honestly, I think it's a cry for help. Let's go to that picture. He's chopping his dick off, or at least that's what I'm implying, or sorry, I'm interpreting it as such, because he said, where is it? I don't even know if we posted it. It might be on the Instagram and not Twitter. But he said that he is going fully trans. So I'm not sure what that means. He's like just becoming a woman outright. But if you go back to his old music, like he was not that type of guy. I feel like he just fell off and then people lose themselves. Like, okay, what is this, bro? What is it? Lil Wop reveals they're becoming a full transgender. He said in the caption, in the transition into becoming a full transgender. What does that mean? Like he's just whatever he wants to be, or he's becoming a full woman, or he's chopping his dick and balls off? You're saying he been like that? I mean, he been like that for a few years, but that was after his transition into falling off. And I'm not even against all this shit. Like, I don't care where you put your dick or if you take it off. That just means more pussy for me. But at the same time, I feel like it's a decision. If you do chop it off, or give yourself a vagina surgically, you're going to regret it later on. I don't know. I just feel like it's somewhat of a trend. I don't think it's going to go away necessarily, but like when you're 60 years old, that can't be healthy. Your body was created a certain way, and your hormones are going to be all fucked up. You're going to have to take pills, whatever. Like it can't be healthy to put surgically a hole in your body that is now a vagina, you know? Am I Christian? I mean, I'm baptized Christian, but like I'm not even religious. Again, I'm not even against whatever anybody wants to do. I do think it's a little bit odd for sure. And I think by definition, it is odd. Like it not many people do this. I don't agree with in when you're a kid, people promoting that, because like there are statistics that a lot of kids, when they turn 18 or become an adult, they do regret decisions and they become depressed. of like I transitioned into the opposite, and then now I'm like, wait, why did y'all let me do this? I was a kid and I didn't even know what I was doing, and the parents are like, it just let it ride out before you, until you're an adult, before you make any rash decisions. You know what I mean? But yeah, I do think he's doing it for clout or to promote his OnlyFans, because there are for sure people who want to watch that type of shit, and by all means, go ahead. He has the clout, and he probably needs the money, because we have done a video on him before. Trippy Red's like best friend. They felt like the streams aren't coming in, so how is bro making money? OnlyFans. I don't know what clout. Yeah. Well, the thing is, even though there are people who have clout and they'll get a lot of Instagram likes and whatever, but when you do things like this, it will get posted everywhere because it is sensationalized. Like, you're becoming a woman, right? And you were a rapper, and like that is something that does not happen very often. So that's what I mean by clout. He doesn't necessarily have clout anymore, but the action will definitely get attention, if that makes sense. These are demonic spirits doing this to him. I don't know, man. Maybe. I think everything derives from money, though. Like, maybe he does feel like a woman inside and he wants to change, but in all reality, that is weird. Like you were born. I'm not even gonna get all of that. I'm gonna get canceled, but I don't even care. I don't even think it's really controversial to be like, that is odd. That is odd. I'm not saying it's wrong. It is odd. Remember when he had that Fenboy? I do remember that. So it makes sense. Maybe he went to the other side, experienced it, and liked it more. I'm sure a man would know about male anatomy more than a female, and like hitting the I don't even know, tickle your prostate and your asshole. I tell my girl, do not fucking go in my asshole. No, sir. That is off limits. No, sir. Humiliation ritual for fame. I don't think that anybody's telling him to do this, though. I think he's doing that sort of ritual to himself. Because if you look at his old brand, it was not on that at all. And if there was a alternate dimension where his career did take off, he signed a Gucci Mane and everything, would he still be doing this? That's what I ask myself. If he was up and he was making millions of dollars with his career, would he be turning into a female to promote his OnlyFans? Otherwise, why do you need to post this on social media? It's not like he sees himself as an inspiration for other transgenders. Like, no, I personally feel like he's doing it for clout, to promote the OnlyFans, to get more money. So it's all a publicity stunt. Please get off your screen. I feel you. We don't need to talk about that anymore. I don't want to look at it either. Here. I got a video for us. Don't worry. Reasons why the underground is so dead. And I don't know why. I actually, my theory is that Yeet took over and it went mainstream. That whole sound, the rage wave is over. And then we just need someone else to take over the leader of the underground. I thought it was going to be Lone, and it still is. But I don't know if he executed it as well as Yeet. Although I know he sold well. But the album didn't hit as hard as like 2 Alive, you know? Like, it was still kind of mixed opinions around it. Whereas Yeet just, I don't know, it just blew up. So, let's check it out.
Nigga, he a slab, see that's a go figure. You adjust in my bed, now he on the post.
And TikTok ruining it, that could be true. Because TikTok kind of like ruined the algorithms of, it sped up the loop of how fast things die out, because people are on that all day for like 3 hours, like straight. And so when they hear a certain sound, it just becomes oversaturated within a week, and then you got to move on to the next thing. Whereas before, with the SoundCloud era, the first one in like 2016, 2017, 2018, I don't know, like a certain sound could be relevant for a few years because there wasn't this algorithm that just kept feeding it to you every second of the day. Social media wasn't as progressed technologically.
Yeah, that's what it is. What it is, Slap Gang. How your boys doing? I'm doing well. This video is gonna be done how some of the reasons why the underground has been dead for right now. It's just for right now. I think it's gonna get pulled back up.
Vine was there though, yeah, but it went out of business. So like it was popular for sure, but like it did not necessarily promote music as much. So it didn't affect music as much as TikTok, which is purely based on sounds and music, you know?
Eventually, but as of right now, it's kind of dead. It's kind of dead in the water. It's like a fucking Sahara desert. It's just really just
like
all
grandma's
dead.
coochie.
It's trees, nothing. It's just completely dead at all. So we're just gonna be talking about some of these reasons, and I hope y'all like, share, and subscribe, and keep moving forward on these videos. I'm out.
Get on with it.
Artists, singers, dancers, entertainers, comedians are usually born and raised in the United States of America. At least 85% of celebrities around the world are American. Data shows that US produces the most star talent out of any country in the world. I mean, shit, we even have 70 out of 100 of the world's highest paid executives. And usually celebrities are at a big, major, high populated cities.
I think that's just because the most money is in America. Like we have the most developed economy. So yeah, the entertainment industry is going to translate into that. And so most of the trends and culture is going to come from America as well, because we're seen as the most rich. And usually the most rich are like the coolest, right? Because that's money is literally power.
In states such as Texas, Louisiana, New York, California, Florida, Illinois, and rightfully so. Good networking, money, connections, scenery, women, men, cars, clothes, everything. And this state has been really popping off in the last 25 years in the entertainment business and the rap game. It's Georgia. And not just...
I was like, am I tripping? Is that even Georgia? For some reason, when I see a map, I feel like Georgia's right here, but I know that's South Carolina.
Georgia, the state. Atlanta, to be exact. Well, you're probably saying to yourself, what's the problem with that? The reason why I say Atlanta, right? It's because over 350 artists that blew up in the rap game in the last 24 years, mainstream and underground, have been popping off. They have rappers up to Andre 3000, all the way down to Glock 40 Spaz. Atlanta is just one of those places you just have to go to become a rapper, entertainer, or just a comedian in general. Just somebody who's in the entertainment business. But what if I told you that slightly hinders your creativity? Well, first off, everybody sounds exactly the same. And it's not because of surface level bullshit. It's just because that's their way of life. Everybody talks the same. Everybody walks the same. Everybody moves the same. Everybody drives the same cars. Everybody wants a Hellcat, Scat Pack, Trackhawk. Everybody says twin after every end of the sentence. But what if I tell you...
So, okay. This is going to be a 17-minute video. And no hate whatsoever. It's just moving slow. So I think that his narrative is going to be that the reason that the underground is dead is because of a lot of the music and culture coming from the same areas, and therefore there's not a lot of new inspiration. It just comes from one place. And so once that got oversaturated, there really isn't all too much left to push music forward. So like 2016, 2017, we had South Florida that was killing it with X, Ski Mask, Lil Pump, Smoke Perp, etc., etc. And so South Florida was actually the biggest hub for underground rap music, R.I.P. X. And then when he passed away, that kind of faded away. Like I'm in Miami, there is no underground rap scene to speak of whatsoever. It did go away with X, unfortunately. So Now Atlanta is really the only other scene. LA has one too, but everyone just goes to LA eventually once they pop off. And so you're right. Yeah, Atlanta does kind of control rap music, but I feel like that's just because it's the hub. It's like the biggest scene. And so you almost move to Atlanta, or that's where all the producers are. That's where everybody's recording music. And so then you just get influenced and inspired to only rap in the same lingo, the same sounds. So maybe we need some other countries to pop off, like Bad Bunny or whatever, or like different cities to blow up, so that there is the drill movement in New York and there's the Houston sound, but Houston's just not as big as Atlanta. So press play. All right. There is the Chicago scene too, but that's like kind of similar to the New York drill as well, with like Lil Durk and all those street rappers. Personally, that's not really my cup of tea, but
that fucks up the rap game because their influence is so big. Young Thug, Future, Lil Baby. These are the rappers that are top of the game for the longest, at least for 6 to 7 years. They even have new upcomers such as Playboi Carti. We even thought Lil Uzi was from Atlanta. Atlanta is
right. He went down to Atlanta with DJ Drama and Don Cannon. So again, everybody just goes to Atlanta. He was from Philly, and as much as he claims his city, we kind of associate with his sound with Atlanta, or at least his old sound with like the drugged out whatever, because Philly's more on like the rapidy rap sound.
It's so cultivated, it's insane. If you're just around one of these ATL niggas, you are guaranteed to blow up. But that's what's fucked up, because every state is trying to be Atlanta. Take for a second, Miami. Miami has been trying to rap like Atlanta niggas for the longest. Oh,
I don't know. I feel like South Florida more had a mosh pit grunge, or not grungy, like highly distorted sound. It wasn't trying to be Atlanta. But again, it went away with X, and then everybody moved to well, actually X didn't move away, but Ski Mask went to New York, and so just kind of dead now.
Oh my God. South niggas, all these South niggas try to rap like Atlanta niggas. Oh my God, they all sound like ATL niggas, bro. And that's what's fucked up. Everybody is just influenced by them because their influence is so big that it's hindering the rap game. Cause now I don't need another Future. I don't need another Young Thug. I don't need another Lil Baby. I don't need another Lil Yachty. I don't need a Playboi Carti. And that's what's fucked up. Playboi Carti ruined the underground, such as Glock 40 Spaz, 21 Savage, and Slimecito.
Playboi Carti ruined the underground. Actually, I think Playboi Carti, that's the reason why we talk about him so much, because he influenced the underground to catch a new wave with like the whole rage thing. And So Fega was already off the map, was already out, and Trippie Redd and Ken Carson and Yeet or whatever. So you can say that they were pioneers as well. But I feel like Carti was really the only thing that was pushing it forward for people to rap on that kind of style. So I wouldn't blame him. I would say the reason that everybody thinks he's the GOAT is because everybody's trying to clone his sound.
Because their connections are so big. Their networking is phenomenal. And that's why everybody sounds exactly the same. It's because everybody wants to be from ATL.
He's being so dark. I feel like I'm about to get killed just watching this video.
Because ATL fan bases are one of the best fan bases in the world. People don't even know who Jay-Z is in Atlanta, but they for sure do know who Future is in Atlanta. That's an insane mindset. So that means their reference point is Atlanta. They don't even see nothing else around them, just Atlanta. And that's what's fucked up about it, because everybody's trying to be.
All right, I get it. So Atlanta ruined the music game. I don't know if Atlanta ruined it. It's just they have a particular sound that so many people came out with, like Gunna, Future, Young Thug. Well, Future and Young Thug are like the OGs of the sound. And then everybody raps on that style, including Carti and everybody. They're all inspired by them just because they're the oldest in the game. But in essence, I mean, what can we do? I just think more people need to come out with new styles of music. So Fago's from Atlanta too, but I feel like he's got his own thing that nobody else can really do. I feel like that's a hard sound with the whatever he does, like the fast rapping, but then the melodic vocals behind it. We had Yeet, and a lot of people are doing the Yeet sound, but it doesn't work as well. It all starts with like just fire artists. That's really what it is. I don't know if we can blame cities. Just people need to come out with new sounds, popularize new trends, and then I don't know, it'll like make it more diverse. I can't blame Atlanta. We just need more people. Yeet is not from Atlanta. I think he's from like West Coast, like California or like Seattle or something. Yeah, let's just nuke Atlanta. It's all their fault. We need a new city. We need South Florida to start popping off. We need like, let's see. What other cities are like cool? I feel like I'm not really well traveled within the US whatsoever. Like I don't really go anywhere. I just live in Miami, so it's the best place to live. So why would I go anywhere else? I can see the water from my window. Like, I don't know. It's just way better. Iowa, Vegas. See, the thing about Vegas is I know it has people that live there, but it's seen as almost like a tourist spot. So I feel like a lot of the culture there just would not catch on with locals. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people visit there, but then they leave like after the weekend is over. I've been to Vegas a couple times. For my 21st birthday, I went there and I left. I got banned from a club too because I accidentally put Molly. They were like, empty your pockets because they were going to search me. And then I accidentally put Molly on the table when I was just trying to take my phone out. I was trying to avoid taking the bag out, but then I fucked up. I was already lit. So Texas, Boston. I don't know. We'll see. Florida's not an L state at all. You just always see those headlines of Florida man does this. And there are for sure a lot of weirdos, but it's just a huge state. And like Miami isn't even really Florida. Like it's its own thing. And then when you go up north to like Jacksonville or like Tampa or Tallahassee or any of these other cities, Orlando, like it's just way different. And there are some weirdos because like the more north you go, the more south the culture gets. And there's like people like junkies and whatnot. Miami's not like that at all though. All right, well, let's see if there's anything else to react to. Let's see. Nextel talks discovering Yeet.
And then one day I was just on the bus with Yeet, and I was like, "Yo, like, we should do that Minions song." You know what I mean? Like, we should do that because he knew about it already. We were just kind of busy. He's like, "All right, I'll be back." He went in his.
I don't know if I can watch a 30-minute video on this, bro. I'm tired. Ugh. I was too scared to finish that video. Yeah, man. He was talking like we were all going to die because Atlanta was taking over the music scene. But yeah, watch this video. If you want to blow up as an artist, Nextel definitely has some game for sure. Like he helped Yeet blow up. So you should watch this. I'm a dip, but crucial video here. He definitely knows what he's talking about. All right. See y'all tomorrow. I'm working on a new video for the main channel. Peace out, Clyde people. Nice here.